towards the end of February 1936, given the global instability triggered by the economic collapse of the German Empire, the situation in China has become critical. Various local factions have risen up against the Nanjing clique, which appears to be the ones that we're currently allied with. So in order to restore order, I am sending 4 divisions of the Third Army over to try and help quell the unrest. Also, this means we can probably switch over to the second expedition to China focus, because that'll actually give us some army experience, which I would be very much in favor of, to get some slightly better divisions. So I might actually cancel this one. We should have been banking a little bit. Yes, we've banked 10 days, so we can get relatively quickly make the political decision to send another expedition to China, which under the hood we've already done. I've also got a couple of cavalry divisions sent to German East Asia, just in case things go out of control even further, and then we'll see if we can, if we need those or not. Meanwhile, yeah, the economy is going down the drain. Yes, the economic crash is still escalating. There's still nothing we can do about it. The Dirksen cabinet, which was sort of controlled by von Schleicher, has been currently replaced with von Rödern as an interim minister until the election. So we'll see what kind of developments are going to be happening there. And of course, the next thing is on the verge of bankruptcy. What is it now? Founded in the early 20th century, Deutsche Kaiserliche Abyssinien Eisenbahn. Oh, that's over here. The railway in Ethiopia is a holding company that oversees the railway between Addis Ababa in Ethiopia and Djibouti. After a series of German-backed expansions, the line is now used to transport ore from the Congo Basin to Djibouti. Current economic downturn means that ore is not being bought at the same rate as before, resulting in fewer transports for the DKAEB. As a result, it's struggling financially, and some board members have approached the government in Dar es Salaam to sell their shares to the German government. Something has to be done to prevent Ethiopia from slipping out of our grasp. Let's see. So we are sending ore from the Congo Delta through Djibouti, which we control, which is part of the German Empire. This is us, actually. Yes, this is us. This is not Middle Africa. Middle Africa is a colony of ours, but we actually control Djibouti. So the railway between our colony and Djibouti goes through Ethiopia, which means Ethiopia is somewhat necessary. And appears to be, they even have given military access to us, and now they're coming to ask for assistance. So what can I do? I can spend 25 political power to prop up the company. I can sell the government shares to Ethiopia, or I can just tell that this is a Middle Africa problem. Middle Africa technically has seaports, so they should be able to. I mean, Djibouti is kind of a tricky bit anyway, because that means we have to go through the Suez Canal, which is currently controlled by the Ottoman Empire, which is friendly, but that doesn't necessarily have to be always like that. So we could theoretically also just ship the ore across the Atlantic, although that is probably a slightly... Yeah, I mean, because how is it going to get to us through the Mediterranean? That said, do I really want to spend political power to dealing with that thing now? That said, having Ethiopia on friendly terms is probably not a terrible idea, because I'm not sure if we have unfriendly relations. We definitely have the French in the north. So not having to focus on potentially revanchist ideas coming from South Africa. Who are these guys? That's the Entente. So not having to deal with the Northern Front might be a decent idea. Just prop it up. It's fine. We have the money to spare. What's now? Outbreaks of anti-Semitic violence. Yeah, that would be these people. The Deutsche Vaterlandspartei, probably. Beginning of the economic crisis sparked by the Black Monday market crash has given fuel to anti-Semitic agitation, even a handful of outbreaks of violence across Germany. Yes, those belonging to the DVP have proposed taxation on Jewish businesses. Jewish population is not completely helpless. Organizations have consistently fought anti-Semitism in Germany through legal means, and they have already begun documenting and reporting instances of this outbreak. This needs to be stopped indeed. This is interesting. Change of popularity of national populism and another 3% base stability. Yes, this definitely needs to be stopped. Otherwise, a certain, I don't know if he's around, but a certain Austrian veteran from the First World War might get funny ideas otherwise. No, we're not having that one. And it looks like this military situation in China is rapidly deteriorating. What are they even doing? There seems to be just shuffling for position at the moment, but it's going to take a moment for our troops to get there, unfortunately. I don't think... I'm not even sure where we're going to go in there. Deadlock in the Bundesrat. Again, formation of Rödern's non-partisan government was taken as an affront by Germany's numerous federal states, especially the south. Oh dear, yeah, it's the Bavarians. These people. Bavaria, Württemberg and Baden viewed the formation of a government dominated by Prussian officials with extreme suspicion. The government, mainly led by Zentrum and the LVP, also did not appreciate their respective parties being shut out of the government by the Reichskanzler. The result was that in the Bundesrat, Germany's upper house, composed of representatives of its member states, a hostile majority has formed against the Reichskanzler, composed of the southern states and numerous minor states who have joined the protest against the Reichskanzler. Are we even going to find a government? So, what does that mean? It was the SPD who benefited in the election polls the most. Campaign and Reichstag delegation took advantage of. So the plan of the SPD is coming to fruition. They effectively crushed the German economy. They blocked any kind of early measures to deal with the situation, such that it was spiraling out of control. Then the Kaiser introduced an interim president. An interim chancellor, which the left is very much unhappy with. So now they're agitating in the street. And that means they get an additional 5 seats. That is not good. Minus 10% base stability and 50 political power. So our base stability is down to 4%, which means we are basically not really producing anything anymore. Party popularity is not the greatest, and the SPD at this point probably has close to enough seats to take the majority in the elections, to be honest. Our volunteer forces are in transfer, but it's going to take until March the 8th to actually even get there. As things are going right now militarily, looking at this, there's not going to be anything left by the time we get there. Move these divisions, maybe. How about that? Because there is... I doubt we can actually get any divisions over here in time for this to... in time for us to hold this position. Because they're going to be completely collapsed. Most of their troops are up in the north. Which means... where is their capital? Okay. A general died. And that one of his top lieutenants has attempted to storm a sacred place, did not survive the assault, and somebody declared yet another thing. So the whole place is fracturing. In short, the whole place is absolutely fracturing. And yeah, I doubt that that this is going to even survive long enough. Japanese troops are now coming in as well. Legation cities have decided to outsource much of their security to the Japanese. That's a great idea to keep their economy afloat. Well, there's little we can do to stop them. There has been uproar in the council over the shifting balance of power, with calls for Japan to not abuse their position in the city. Yeah, this is not going to go well. Japan is going to probably start taking things over relatively quickly. But yeah, the military situation here is devastating, to say the least. I don't think our troops can even make it there in time to make a difference. I don't know if I can get the troops over the cavalry divisions that I'm moving over here in there. I don't, if I even have military access, but we'll find out. Right now, all we can do is watch it fall apart. Okay, this is actually quite fascinating. So the ADGB, which I would assume to be something like Allgemeiner Deutscher Gewerkschaftsbund, General German Trade Union Federation, they came up with a plan. And the plan, given that these are trade union syndicalists, more or less, was unsurprisingly that because capitalism has failed, the government should start employing everybody. Interestingly enough, the SPD is not in favor of this plan, and this is actually a plan came up by Fritz Tarnow and Fritz Bade, double Fritz. So the Tarnow-Bade plan. We've already seen Rathenau plan earlier, and he was all the way into the socialist corner. These guys are actually a little less extreme by the sound of it, but their ideas are roundaboutish, just. Banking controls, public employment of unemployed people, and a public work creation. And interestingly enough, von Schleicher is in favor of that. Now, von Schleicher is a devious man, but he's definitely not a trade unionist. So there must be something to the plan. If von Schleicher is in favor of it, the SPD is not in favor of it, because they probably feel like they should be the ones making the plans, because they've been scheming this whole time to take over the government. So that will cost us an additional 2%, and despite the SPD complaining about it, they actually get an additional seat in the Reichstag election. Oh, grand. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. To see how, I don't even know if I can stop them at this point, but we will find out. Meanwhile, it's March 1st, and whatever's left of China over here is still, by the looks of it, hasn't capitulated yet. So we're still waiting to see when our troops get there. Hopefully, our troops are going to get there eventually. And we might be able to do something about it and try to contain. Probably the south looks even more dangerous in terms of spread here. So we will see. We will see what we can contain here with the 4 divisions that we're sending over, and we'll do our best to try and get the status quo back under control. Okay, what? Oh yeah, we're sending. This is effectively the equivalent. We're sending them infantry equipment. Not that that was the national focus here. Not that I am particularly having any infantry equipment right now. I think we are a bit short, but production will probably go to that first. So this is the equivalent of sending an attaché, I think, more or less. So we have completed this focus, which gives us 0.02 military army experience daily, which isn't going to be an awful lot because of minus 75%. But we're never going to have political power to actually do something like hire a chief of army, because we just don't get the political power to do so. That bears the question, what are we going to do next? This opens up a couple of things. We could send a military mission to the Ottoman Empire. And what does that So allies in the Middle East, Ottoman Empire, have not yet fully abandoned their relationship with Berlin in spite of some issues between the states. Yeah, they were not too happy with how we conducted ourselves after the war. In addition, they are the only force which can maintain a stable German-aligned Middle East. There is no reason not to back them and support them. So we can try to maintain peaceful relations with the Ottoman Empire. This game is very quickly turning into full-on politics, but the Ottoman Empire are critical for two reasons. First, reason number one, and yes, I have now negative 25 base stability. This is truly terrifying for two reasons. First of all, most of our oil comes from Azerbaijan and from Muntenia, wherever that is. Where in the world is Muntenia? Muntenia, where is that? Alps in Romania. Okay, good to know. So Romania probably works. Azerbaijan is way over here, so we're sort of relying on the Ottomans to let that through, I assume. Plus, they're currently holding the Suez Canal. So being friends with the Ottomans is a good thing. Plus, this gives us an additional experience gain, which we can probably use to our advantage. We've got a couple of those, but there are prerequisites. We can also support the Americans eventually. I don't know what the Americans are up to. Getting America on our side would probably be a good thing on the long run. So I would like to get another spy, but it's not hugely urgent. I can do this later. So I haven't heard from the Russians for a couple of days. Definitely not expanding the colonial budgets right now. So we could do the we could help the Americans and get the Socialist Party of America to lose political power. It's probably warranting to have a quick look over to the US and see what's going on there, because they still have their own. They have the Great Depression going on still. So, who is? So 17% syndicalist, 23% national populist. So these are the right wingers. These are the far left wingers. I'm honestly a little bit more worried about these guys because of the Britain, France, Italy axis. So if there were a socialist uprising in the Americas, and yeah, their stability is down the drain as well. It might not be a terrible decision to get in there early. And I have, let's do this. Prittwitz plan. And I don't know what the actual ambassador to the United States, Friedrich Wilhelm von Prittwitz und Gaffron, has noted the deplorable economic and social situation in America. It doesn't look much better at home either. Has predicted that vast conflict may break out across the Union soon if nothing is done to stop it. For that, he has drafted a plan for an interest-free loan to the US, which will aid their economic recovery and curtail socialist growth. Okay, so we are helping the Americans, which as Germany feels a little weird, but I think having an ally in the Americas might not be a terrible idea. So let's enact that. And while we are still waiting for our divisions to finally arrive in China. Okay, so agriculture in Germany is not going well. Mostly because of the Juncker system, who are effectively large landowners, and that makes they're holding 0.2% of the landowners hold 25% of the actual land where we run agriculture on. So the whole system is extremely inefficient. And this, to a degree, is the fault of the conservatives or of the right-wingers, because the current state secretary of agriculture, a certain Martin Schiele, has been sort of keeping that up and alive. Which means, of course, now the DKP, the Conservative Party, is claiming that they are the only ones who can fix it, while they were the ones who have been messing it up for the last decade. So yeah, things are. We need to sort out food production because everyone else appears to be more efficient at it than us. So this leftover of the old age of feudalism needs to go. The problem is, for now, this is going to cost us 6% stability, of which we have none, 10% war support, 2 civilian factories, and everything's getting worse. We are now down to minus 30% base stability, and there is no end in sight. There's still nothing I can do. And unfortunately, things probably will have to go get much worse before they get any better. Yeah, we're at minus 8% effective stability. That is pretty disastrous. Okay, so our volunteer divisions have arrived. That is good. And the restoration of democracy in Australasia is happening. So the Australasian Confederation has been under the authoritarian rule of General William Birdwood since the British invocation of the emergency protocols in 1924, when the British Empire effectively fell to the syndicalists, considered by many in the nation to have been a heavy-handed response to the Melbourne Commune syndicalist uprising. Oh, so they had their own problems down there. Birdwood finally relented to calls for an open election, leading to the expected result of Stanley Bruce's United Australasia Party achieving a majority government in the Canberra Parliament. Bruce and his Prime Minister Sheila are expected to have a tough time ahead of him, with Labour unrest in the rise and calls for a revocation of Birdwood's more egregious restrictions on personal liberty. Interesting indeed. So, Australasia is Australia, New Zealand, and that bit over there. We actually own bits over here. So this is part of German East Asia still. And potentially a couple of islands. Yes, well, most of the islands actually. So most of this is German East Asia over here. So most of these island chains. But my divisions have arrived. Where are they? Here they are. Why are these guys here? I didn't send 4 cavalry division. Did I? I sent the mountaineers. Didn't I? Oh, I sent the wrong army, I think. Oops. I sent the wrong army. I thought I sent two cavalry divisions and two infantry, 2 mountain divisions and 2 infantry divisions, and I sent the cavalry down here. That's why my front line is gone. Whoops. Well, it's arrived, so we'll see what we can do. We don't have military access here, but at least we have some open territory here. So maybe this is not that bad. We do have some open territory in the north at least. So depending on how many enemy divisions there are, we are going to try and for now push along the river line here and see if we can just on both sides. No, not the whole side. Maybe this is not that bad after all. So we will try to. We'll send them over here. Want to name them Poseidon. I'm not sure why. We're in the middle of China, but okay. We'll send the cavalry over here. We'll try to break through towards their capital and see if we can just make something happen in the open. In the meantime, so obviously these guys who were actually supposed to go there. Little confusion in the government. I'll bring them down here. Little confusion in the government, and they can have a new theater. That is the East Asian Theater. There we go. We'll send them over here. Maybe after all this worked out. I'm not sure, but I should have. I did send air volunteers, so I should be able to transfer. I don't know how many I have actually. How did that work? I haven't done this in a while. I should be able to send. Yeah, I can send my air wings over. So these two I think I can send one. Yeah, I can send one air wing over. So they're gonna go for air superiority over the lower Yangtze, and we will see what once the air region. There's nothing there, so they might as well assist with that. And if anybody brings in some fighters, they can. But we'll get aerial superiority at least. Yeah. Okay. Let's get our cavalry to the front lines, please. Can you railroad to the front lines if you can? And then we do need some. I don't know how much railroad there is here, but then we do need some. They're making headway actually. Oh, never mind. In that case, okay, we are already. We'll help out. We have no organization because we just came fresh off the. Well, leave two divisions in. I'll send the other two around the other side and see if we can push towards the capital. Because I think there is attack. Please. What can I not do? Can I move? Okay. I'm not sure why I can't attack with these divisions. These should be volunteer divisions, so I should be able to. I can set the front line. Not sure why I can't. Why I can't start. Oh, there we go. Okay, I just had to click a couple of times. So we'll try to make a push from along the northern side of the river towards the capital, while the other two are assisting with the south. And then we can see if we can, because the capital is north here. So we'll see if we can deal with the northern insurrection first, and then we'll try to clear out the south afterwards. Meanwhile, a democratic coalition established in Mexico. So Mexico has fallen into a power vacuum with unclear leadership and failing government structures. Well, what else is new? A coalition of democratic parties has decided to compromise in an attempt to rein in the violence that plagues the country and move onwards towards stability. Yeah, Mexico. Go Mexico. Okay, so Mexico is democratic now. So that is good, I guess, for us. Yeah, we'll start the assault here directly on the capital, and we'll see if we can just break through. I don't know if their capital is actually defended because my divisions are very much out of organization. But what's this? Trade Union Congress, Union of Britain. Yeah, it's fine. Oswald Mosley, leader of the Maximist movement, has been appointed as the new chairman. They support a strong central government and full state control of the economy. That sounds fun. So much for anarcho-capitalism, and much more in favor of military action and British nationalism than the other factions. So the originally syndicalist Britain is appearing to head more for a totalitarian government, so sort of Stalinist approach by the looks of it. But okay, let's see what we can make happen here. We do have to be a little careful not to get our divisions cut off. Okay, they are entrenched there, which means we are not breaking that most likely. I am going to. This is going to just be south of the capital. It's fine if we can cut through south of the river line. They have a lot of divisions here, however, so I think we will just, for now, we need to regain our organization. So we'll leave, we'll adjust the front lines here, and just like this, yeah. And we will stop the assault for now. Okay. The Pope has died. And the new Pope, yeah. Oh, the Pope actually wants to unify the Italian peninsula. Oops. So right now it's the College of Cardinals, and we'll see who's going to be the new Pope. So the Pope is against syndicalism, which means the Pope's our friend. We are friendly with the Pope. So if these guys want to do something about the syndicalists, I'm all for it. I will just have to get orders through to these cavalry divisions here to stop attacking. And we will, in fact, actually, we'll just try to break through in the south and cut off the divisions here. Maybe that's enough for a start. If we can't take the capital, and we will try to just see that we can encircle and destroy a couple of divisions here, if possible, while somewhat holding the northern lines. Are my planes here yet? Where are my planes? My planes are... Wait. Hang on a minute. Where are my planes? They're still on the way. Okay. Planes are not yet there, but we are making progress here. City council elections in Berlin. So the mayor of Berlin there's going to be a new election for a new mayor. He served... okay. Hang on, I'll need to read this. I'll be right back. Alright, so the current mayor of Berlin is sort of politically neutral. He's an independent technocrat. But the far left is trying to get Otto Ostrowski into power. So if he's being elected mayor of Berlin, SPD and the far left will gain seats. Otherwise, the liberals, conservatives will gain seats. Yeah, the SPD is what I'm worrying about here, because they already are extremely strong. So we are definitely going to stay with Heinrich Sam in Berlin. And then we can continue our operations in the south here and see if we can manage to just speed things up a little and encircle some of the divisions of the enemy divisions here. So I see a handful of opportunities where we can use our speed to cut off, and we'll see if we can get around the north as well. To cut off a couple of divisions with the cavalry here. This is a okay. That was a counter. I think that was just a counter attack. Okay, hang on a minute. I am slightly busy. I'm running my cavalry without any kind of organization, trying to rescue the Chinese here. In the meantime, Pius XII has been elected as new pope. Sigh of relief as the Sistine Chapel's chimney bellowed forth white smoke, signifying the election of a new pope. A short time later, it was announced that the pious and popular Cardinal Pacelli has become His Holiness Pope Pius XII, leader of the Catholic Church and head of state of the Papal States. He will continue the policies of his predecessor. Okay, that's good. And the Democratic Union has formed. Oh my gosh. Reorganization has taken place among the German parties as the Social Democratic SPD and Liberal LVP have announced an official agreement on cooperation in the 1936 Reichstag elections. So the left is organizing. The agreement made between Hermann Müller and Erich Koch, the respective party chairmen, entails joint candidates in key constituencies and common policies. The two parties will push to relieve the effects of the Black Monday crisis in the next Reichstag. These policies include banking reform, public works, and other employment measures. In addition, both parties have professed their loyalty to the achievement of the March Revolution, reform, not revolution, of the Constitution, and their dedication to defending them from encroaching conservatives, hence the name Demokratische Union. Before and during the Weltkrieg, the Progressive People's Party, the Freiheitliche Volkspartei, maybe, was a close ally of the SPD and persistently ended up in its shadow, and the unification of liberal parties into the LVP was seen as a way how to escape the shadow and allow German liberalism to become a powerful force in its own right. The LVP's decision to restore the alliance with SPD thus allows that ultimately they were unable to avoid their fate as a secondary power. So the liberals couldn't go by themselves. So the whole thing, they're working together now, which means SPD LVP 5 additional seats. Yeah, this is gonna be true. This is gonna be trouble. This is gonna be trouble. The leftists are very, very, very quick here. And I think we're not getting out of that one. Okay, hang on. Let me. We are being counterattacked here because we are about to encircle some divisions. I am not gonna push further north here. So let's defend in the north, try to retreat towards the capital. We're getting reinforcements in, trying to defend against the onslaught across the river. But because we need to not be pushed back here, because then we might have a chance to link up with the south. The problem is they are encroaching from the south as well. And we are pushing back the enemy troops here. Okay, now we can hold. And we are going to try and cut off these divisions here, while the other two are going to try and cut off these two divisions here. And I think that is about as much as I can do right now. This cavalry division has regained a little bit. We'll try to counterattack here. Okay, Middle Africa stopped actually buying our bombers. Australasian Confederation, yeah, you can have some. And the Americans want to have them, yeah, you can have them too. You are my friends for now. Okay, I think we are making progress here in trying to encircle these divisions, but I think I'm going to end the episode now because things have been moving, and I still can't do anything about the Black Monday, but we'll see how long that's still going to take. Reichstag election was in, what was it, in April? Yeah. Election for the Reichstag is scheduled April 10. So we're getting relatively close to the elections, and by the looks of it, it's going to be the liberals who are, it's going to be the left wing who is going to be in power, unfortunately. It's not an awful lot by the looks of it that we can do about it. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.